dashes into Taliyah can be quite lethal, but you do have a lot of mobility inherently on Ahri, which does give you options to play around it, and it will be able to allow you to challenge some of the push during the laning phase. So top side locked in for both sides, which means the bot lane now becomes the priority. Ezreal is going to be the first removed. Draven very quick to follow. I immediately think of Xayah in particular for Patrick. He had a very strong performance on it last week, and we've been seeing a lot of the Senna and Tahm Kench come out from Team Vitality to put this bot side on something a little bit more safe and reserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well we have also seen kind of like, you know, globally the resurgence of the Jinx Aphelios handshake kind of thing coming back in. So we might see with a couple of more AD carry bans, those less proactive picks in the early game kind of becoming more prevalent. But Tahm Kench going to take away that Senna Tahm Kench combination. So already we're starting to see some big movements here from the side of XL. They know how they want to play this game.
They certainly do. Question is, what will the support direction be? I immediately think of champions like Rakan for Mickey. He's very prominent on it, gives him a lot of agency, and when we look at XL, right now they have that initial engage of the Wukong. There's good follow-up with both the Ahri and the Gangplank. I think the best way to really round this composition out could be a little bit of disengage, maybe a Renata could be something they want to go for, or maybe they want just more follow-up engage, which would make Rakan good. But again, more dashes into things like a Taliyah, is that really something that XL want to take?
Yeah, that's the big thing. When you look at the Taliyah, you just have, you know, so many tools to just stop everything you want to do. Think about it. If Nukeduck puts himself on a flank, you put down the Weaver's Wall, where's he supposed to go? There's nothing for him to, and alongside the Unraveled Earth, which we've obviously talked about at length, not really a lot of places to go. So Nukeduck's going to have to be a little bit more creative, shall we say, with his pathing if he wants to try and deal with the Taliyah. The Aphelios that we talked about, very safe. You get that Gale Force spike around that level 6, level 7 mark, and you do have kill potential pretty much on anyone on the side lane.
Let's have a look now what direction Vitality will go for with their bot lane. Well, we see that handshake that you mentioned earlier with the Aphelios locked in. Jinx could be a prime candidate. Ooh, but we're going to get a Sivir Renata bot lane. So, of course, all of the changes have happened to Sivir. Riot wanted to try and push her into like becoming one of the strongest team fight AD carries that we have. A bunch of changes that have happened to her. I'm very excited to see her step up in the team fights. How will XL look to round out their composition now? Right now they're hovering the Zilean, but they have a lot of options at their disposal.
A lot of different options available. Like you said, they can go with harder engage, like you mentioned earlier. The Zilean would help out in the laning phase and does give you that little bit of a can't kill you in the Zilean in the later game. They're going to go for it. So Mickey bringing out something of a specialty, shall we say. When he got brought into the XL lineup, this was something that he did rely on, and it has been something that's worked out for XL in the short term as well. So lots of different things, a lot of different components coming in right now from the, honestly, just from the laning phase.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this Sivir in particular, because when we think about this bot lane from Vitality, in my opinion, it's been one of their weakest points. And now when you look at like their team fighting prowess, a lot of it is going to be coming from Kazi. This bot lane needs to have a very solid laning phase, but my expectation is that what Sivir was always good at was just pushing, right? Very so many tools to be able to do that. And I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how XL actually manages.
Honestly, a lot of LPL teams kind of throw it at someone. It's usually not until the first dragon that they see them go absolutely ham and look for stuff. It's quite normal, quite content, you know. It's just become a little bit of a... Oh, Alphari will get the stun against the wall. Finn is very close to dead. One more auto attack will do it! And that is Alphari with the late dominance on the Gnar.
The level 6 advantage meant that Finn, without his flash, had no way to get away. Vitality leveraging their strong laners. This is something that, you know, we've commented on for a very long time regarding Vitality. They've always had very good, very reliable laners, and Alphari in particular is someone that you can count on to get ahead in the lane. This is going to be a massive wave. Excited to see how she does into this matchup.
Haru smells something. He knows he can make something work here as Finn gets caught again. Still no flash. He was 5 seconds away from that summoner, and that is just good timing there from Vitality.
And now the worst part for Finn is this wave can just get frozen on by Alphari if he wants to. There's still no TP available.
First tower, first dragon, first herald. They're basically first across the board. 2 of those metrics they just cannot get, because we're going to have a look at top side. 2v2 happening, but it's actually a 3v2 as Mickey forces a flash away. You do not have your ult at the moment. You can kill in a Zilean, and he will be going down. Perkz is here and still has plenty in the back pocket to get Vitality. That is 4-0, and this is starting to become a bit of an issue now for XL.
It doesn't matter who you send topside, Haru's ganking it. And now with the Herald, they can look to secure their first tower of the game. Vitality have come into week 6 looking revitalized.
This is a big moment of
mid, but that's going to disappear very quickly. And this bot lane, they go for the all-in. It looks like a bit of a trap from Labrov as he gets too close to Mickey, but Mickey's so squishy, especially without the level 6. Then Patrick, all he can do is offer protection, but he ends up losing his life here. just a really clean collapse overall from Vitality. And I think he just chose not to use the summoner spells there because he realized he's not
going to have the Cannon Barrage come in as well, but he waited so patiently. Patrick, really well done there, able to make sure he was able to get the cleanse out and still get the CC.
So a good response from Patrick, just punishes Perkz on a side lane. I don't think Perkz was expecting to die in a 1v1, but surprise, Finn's ultimate is kind of what changed the game there. A lot of additional damage. Perkz was forced to cleanse, as you identified, and then with Mickey showing up, they're able to secure that kill. So at the very least, XL find themselves now on the board. The top side was a little bit of a time waster, but now they've kind of realigned their focus, I guess you can say, and they've been able to get
it. Oh, it's a flash forward here from Marcoon, trying to catch out Perkz, who does not have flash, does not have cleanse, and does not have a life. 0-2 now on the Taliyah, but Haru wants to try and make something back. At least getting the flash out of Patrick would be nice, but Patrick's got himself a Severum, so he's totally fine.
Okay, so this is one of the downsides of committing all your resources bot side. It does leave you vulnerable on the top side. Perkz, thinking he should be able to safely secure the blue, was not expecting Marcoon to flash in and fully commit to that 1v1, and he was able to find it. Good pick from XL. They find themselves another kill at the bottom of our screen, right?
Yes.
And this will tell you how much gold they're sitting on, and you can see that Perkz is getting very close to having enough money to be able to buy his first time.
Oh, well, Nukeduck's in a lot of trouble. He's caught between a pillar and a hard blade. Flash in by Karzi. One more auto attack, but there's just so much mobility on this Ahri. Now Haru really stuck between himself and the rest of the enemy team, but Marcoon, you flashed earlier, which means you don't have it now. He gets flashed on by Haru, and that's another kill here for Vitality. Shelly was still pushing in that top side. Mickey needs to be careful. He needs to change his trajectory because he is not in a good spot. Flashes over the pillar of ice as Patrick tries to defend the rest of his team. That tier 2 is very Marcoon and Nukeduck, 3 seconds till the flash. They're looking for it, and they're going to try and fully commit to him as soon as he goes into meta. The charm is good. Alphari knows he's as good as dead, and that is a shutdown over to Nukeduck.
I respect that Alphari committed to getting the cannon minion before he dies.
100%.
You know, man's got his priorities straight. But yeah, that was a good pick from XL.
All over the place, shall we say, the decision making. It's been nice from Vitality, but now we can see that they're going to go for a big fight here. TP coming off the backside of this, the Weaver's Wall trying to separate Patrick from the rest of his team. Alphari is mega. He's found one person, but a good flash as Patrick tries to get away. He's got himself the chrono break, so he's going to be able to stay alive. Marcoon now, as we can see, a great ultimate of the hostile takeover. Patrick will not die. Eventually he will fall, but you've traded it back. It's a 1-for-1 as now Vitality look to reset the fight. Nukeduck is still doing very well as Alphari takes down the Monkey King. It was a good play from Vitality. They recognize that XL were overextended.
Vitality with the aggression this time around, trying to set up a collapse.
Spotted out, doesn't have the decoy right now, maybe force the flash. The Weaver's Wall is going to be good to try and separate them away, but XL have a position here where they might try and burn down Alphari, who goes mega and bounces away. The Dragon hasn't even spawned yet, Benny, and that will finally be here, but Finn gets knocked back. They've popped down the Zillion ultimate so they can leave him. That's no longer available to you on XL. They're going to try and maybe look for a little bit of a pick, but Patrick's already so low, and it looks like XL, they don't really have the resources to take this fight, and Vitality get themselves the Ocean Soul.
From Marcoon, I mean, on the other side of the fight, Vitality was forcing XL into this choke point. Now they move towards the Baron.
I mean, you can keep going in and out of this one because you have yourself the Ocean Soul. The good flick back there onto Nukeduck means that he's forced to flash away, and you're just losing more and more resources, more and more tools that you can use to maybe turn a fight. And XL, they're kind of running out of options.
They certainly are. Vitality are just keeping XL at arm's length. They're really just chipping away at them. And
here we go! Massive ultimate into the flick back, the solo layers of Vitality in perfect synergy, and XL, they're routed, they're running home as Nukeduck knows he needs to try and kill this wave, otherwise it's going to be game over.
Perfect ultimate comes in from Alphari. XL wanted to keep the dance going, but Vitality said, nope, this will be our finale, and they played it beautifully. The wombo combo was clutch, and Vitality will now find themselves with a big win over XL.
Yeah, they're going to be able to push in through this mid lane. They don't even care about the minions. They'll finally be able to get them to kind of join in the parade, but really well done. Very patient play from Vitality, and the most important win that they needed. We will have another fight coming in. As we can see, there's the Berserk from Marcoon as he tries to make this one a little bit of a harder work here. The ace comes out, the Nexus turrets have fallen, and Vitality will tie up XL at 7 wins and 5 losses.
An impressive win overall from Vitality.